Okay, so today in this video I'm going to cover my setup, mostly my rig, how I set it up, the hardware I use, and the way I protect everything from all of that when I come out to the field and I just know I'm going to destroy something. Kind of the necessities, things I bring along, and things I've kind of adapted to over time because I've broken so many random things so many random times. But first I want to start out by saying thank you. I hit 100 subscribers. I don't know how I did, but I did. I appreciate everybody that watches my channel, all the support you guys give. Love the feedback. I'm new to it. I've only been doing this for, I don't know, 8 or 9 months, coming up on a year. I enjoy it. I just like putting the videos up. I think it helps me become a better pilot because now I can kind of see my errors and mistakes and all the things I make, or all the, you know, the mistakes I make, and it helps me improve. Plus you're reviewing the footage and you're creating something. You're flying. I love to fly, so even if I had 1 subscriber, I really don't care. To me, I just enjoy flying. I like seeing it. I like putting music to it and just going with the flow. On that, hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I had a great Thanksgiving. Can't say enough about that, but let's get to it. So one of the key things here that when you come to the field and you know you're going to throw down is your calming drink. You need something to calm you down. Get your heart rate low, stay hydrated because you're going to get sweaty. You're gonna be sweating all over the place, nervous, adrenaline's high. No, really, I'm kidding. Those are just my drinks. I probably shouldn't even have these on here. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. But one thing you absolutely do need are props. I bring a plentiful supply of props with me every time I go to the field. Reason being is because, as you can see, I break a lot of props. I even say it in every video, but kind of my favorite, based on a recommendation from a friend, was to go with a lower pitch prop. It's a challenge for me to go lower pitch prop because my quad is so heavy, but it does smoothen out. You know, it requires me to get a little more throttle input to recover from, you know, steep dives, but it does smoothen out. You know, I can make bigger adjustments on the throttle and not have the quad respond as quickly. The props I'm using is HQ DP props. They're the 5.1 4.1s by 3. Amazing prop. Run through trees on a regular basis. I'll probably go through, I don't even know how many packs of these, maybe sometimes 10, 15. It gets expensive when I come out here and try and do all these tricks through the trees, but these props do seem to hold up the best for me. I'm able to bend them back into place and run through them even when they're a little bit ragged, but they do real well. My other favorite prop would be the gate breaker. That's a really good prop as well, but they get pricey. You break too many of those, man, it'd take trips to the bank, work overtime. So that's my prop bag. Must have, gotta have that junk. Next will be my controller. I like a lightweight controller. I get real stressed out, nervous, shaky if I got this big joystick in my hand, big controller. You know, it's just weight. But I don't like the neck strap, real talk. I don't like a neck strap. I just like the whole, I like the feel of just like, I don't know, you know, Xbox controller, if you will. It's just real lightweight. Feels good in your hand. It's rubberized. I'm not going to drop it. If I get mad and want to throw it down, it just makes me think second because it won't come out of my hand. But I like the FR Sky X-Lite Pro. I used to have the X-Lite. I ran that. I've been running the smaller controller for about a year. I prefer the smaller controller to the bigger controller, just purely based on weight and feel. I did have to add these little stick lengtheners here, because the sticks, the aluminum sticks that came on here just weren't sufficient. You know, I got bigger hands, so I'm trying to pinch this tiny little thing, and I didn't feel like I got full deflection on the throws, pit throw, you know, when I'm throwing throttle, yaw, pitch, or roll. So I added these. Helpful. It definitely improved the feel of the controller. Beyond that, that's really it. I run the Crossfire, as you can see on the back. I've had that thing for a few years. It's been doing real well for me. I think most people today are running Crossfire, from what I've seen anyway. All right, let's get into the quad. So first things first, I'll talk about the antenna. I want to say that the TBS Triumph, this thing is badass. Yesterday I flew probably 10 or 15 packs through it in this shape. I just destroyed the heck out of it, and I've even set this one on fire once. Great antenna. The reason I'm bringing this out here is because you guys are going to wonder why I have this huge, long, left-hand circular, giant thing on the back of my quad. The reason being is I don't have any other SMA antennas. This is the only one I had in my box, so That's what I stuck on there so I could fly today. Otherwise, I'd be running a Triumph. I got to order a new one. Just haven't done that yet. So I'll start with the GoPro. I bought the GoPro 8. Pretty expensive. I think it was a good buy. I like the camera. It seems to be pretty durable, but I protect the heck out of it. And you guys may be wondering, like, what is this? What are these foam things? These are those chair sliders I was talking about, the felt pads. I used to use the little black neoprene-esque foam pads that you'd stick on, but man, wind starts blowing hard and those things come off your quad and they get expensive. But I can buy a pack of these for like $2. They look janky as heck, but when things go sideways, man, these things just stay on. They don't come off, and they're super durable, and they do absorb the blow. Trust me, they do absorb hard hits. I mean, you can tell right here that frame broken already. Gotta replace that leg. But I use them on the quad, on the bottom of the quad to dampen, you know, for hitting concrete, and then also use them on the GoPro. Another thing I use on the GoPro is this little armor shield thing, carbon fiber dealio. This thing has been a lifesaver. It is heavy and it's bulky, but it has saved my camera a number of times, as you guys can clearly see, you know, the damage around the edge, and also the, you know, these foam pads here, they just take the beating. They take the hits and keep on ticking. Last thing is I use this ultra strong Velcro, and that's how I clip it into my highly modified, highly sophisticated GoPro 7 TPU mount. There isn't a TPU mount that I've been able to find for GoPro 8 yet. Maybe I'll get on some software, draw my own and print it. I don't know. But anybody out there wants to make a little bit of money, they should design a GoPro 8 mount, because I'd probably buy one, but it's not out. I haven't found one. So my highly precise cutting technique, I basically hack this through some of that high strength tape in the center, and then I throw my camera in with the I don't know what you call that mount. I don't remember what it's called, but I lock it in place, and then I'm not going to do it now just for the sake of time, but I take my Velcro strap, my Kevlar Velcro strap, and then I secure the camera in place. I've been pretty lucky with this setup because it just takes a blow and just keeps on rolling. I haven't damaged the camera too bad. It does have some nicks, bruises, and scrapes, but nothing crazy. It still keeps working. So highly recommend the felt pads. They work. Next thing, battery. I run the Thunder Power Adrenaline 1100 milliamp 100C. Pretty good battery pack, 6S. I haven't puffed a single battery 6S pack yet. I've been flying it for about a year, maybe over a year now. But I have punctured cells and obviously have smashed quite a few batteries and set some on fire. These batteries are great. About 40, I don't know, just over 40 bucks. They do the job, and I like them a lot. So they're not too crazy expensive. Next thing's next, the Lumenier QAV-R 2. Can't say enough about that frame. Super durable. Takes the abuse that I throw at it. I think the only thing I've destroyed on these things, I have hit poles and leveled these out, but usually I just snap legs if I dive through and just hit the ground just blowing out. I'll snap a leg off. I've done that a few times, but they hold up real well. I think they're 4.5 mil arms, but you can see like that one there is already cracked from damage, but they do hold up. They do take a beating. I used to fly the X-Hover, I can't remember what that frame was called, but it was very similar to this one. I used to fly it, and they had lifetime guarantee. They replaced the arms and everything. I mean, it was awesome. That frame was great, and I don't really remember why I switched from that one to this one. Maybe it was availability or hard to get stock on the other one, so I switched to this one. But at any rate, I don't know. I like this frame. Been flying it for over a year now. Seems to be decent enough. Simple, and that's what I like. Simple and takes the abuse. Next are my motors. A lot of people don't use the POPO technology. I absolutely love it. I've been flying it probably close to a year and a half now, and I can honestly tell you that I've had less than, I don't know, 5 or 6 props blow off due to, you know, the pin being pushed or whatever. And the POPO Pro fixed a lot of that because the pins are detented, so they're inset, whereas the other ones used to have the pin out exposed. So if you did hit like this, a pin, and I think that's where I had the majority of my fly offs. The other ones have been where the hubs have cracked, or the hubs have stripped, and then the props have come off. And you guys see my videos, those that watch. I mean, don't think that I'm not putting in the packs and hitting trees left and right and branches left and right. I'm just not showing that footage. And even some of my videos, most of them might even say I'm like crashing at the end anyway. I crash out. I don't like cutting up videos. I like just doing one run throwdowns. And a lot of times it takes 10, 12, 15 packs and batteries and 10, 12, 15 packs of props to get there, to get that video out without having to edit in or cut. But the POPO, like I said, has been really good. It has stood the test of time, and I've not needed the bolt downs. On that, I run the Lumenier Zip 2407 1700 kV motors. I've been running these for about a year and a half now too. I really like these motors. They're super durable. They are on the bigger side. I do run the 2207s because they're smaller, and it gives you a little bit more meat. Man, the sun's going down on me here. Switch sides. It gives you a little bit more meat on the arm here, so that you don't hit the bell like I hit here on concrete. Typically the arm will absorb the blow and the bell will be saved. The 2407s are a little bit beefier, so they stick out over the edge a little bit more, and they do take damage, and they are a little bit more expensive. But plenty of power to lift this hog up in the air, so that's why I like them. Beyond that, we'll get into the stack. As I said before, I was running KISS for about the last almost year, and I set a bunch of them on fire. I set 4 of them on fire. 2 I set on fire by what I think were just, you know, accidents. I hit trees or whatever, and things got poked or stabbed or cut or whatever, and then they went kinetic on me, or they just balled up. And then 2, just no explanation, they just caught fire, and they're relatively new. Like just last week, or two weeks ago actually, I lost 2 in a row. It was crazy. They just caught fire. I will say that it's probably due to running 6S. I know they're not rated at 6S, they're rated at 5S, and you know, common sense applies. That's probably what happened. Plugging 6S and just ripping it, and they just catch fire. But I switched back to beta flight. I've not had any fires on beta flight over the years. I've been flying FPV probably 5 years now, since 2014. I have to do the math on that. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. At least 5 years, 4 or 5 years, pretty consistently. Beta flight's been reliable. KISS is ultra reliable too. I love KISS. I can't say enough about it. The smoothest flying machine I've had was on KISS, with limited tuning. Switch back to beta flight. I saw this new SPRacing flight controller, SP H7 Extreme. I probably shouldn't tell you guys this. I freaking love it. Hopefully they don't get sold out of stock like everything else I try to buy, like KISS. I'd probably still be running a 5th KISS set if it was available, but everything's out of stock. So I figured I'd give this H7 a try. So far out of the box, I just wanted to run it without any modifications whatsoever to settings or tuning or anything. And out of the box, just setting the parameters to get the quad in the air, D-Shot 600, you know, crossfire protocol. I didn't even set up the OSD. Everything's running beautifully, and the thing flies like a dream, like right out of the box. And I just attribute it to the dual gyro setup. It's just super smooth. Even when I'm running props that are just chewed up and mangled, that thing just still runs rock solid. No flyaways, no freakouts, none of that. And this one here, yesterday, I ripped the USB pad off, and the thing still flies. And this is a brand new flight controller. I mean, I've had it on here, you know, a week maybe. Same with the ESC. So that's the H7. I love that flight controller. It's great. Next is T-Motor F45 45 amp ESC 4-in-1. This is the V2. Got lots of time on these two. I don't know if I've had any fail on me yet. Ultra reliable, love it. It's been plenty enough for me and my style of flying. I do run a Panasonic 105C temp 50 volt 1000 microfarad cap on the back. Thing's huge and chunky. Probably go with smaller ones. The reason I went to the bigger one was because the smaller ones, they would actually, the wire would burn through, or the thing would just pop off and break, the cheaper one. So I went with a little higher grade. I can't really tell a difference in video performance in terms of noise, but it is definitely more durable, but it's also heavier. Next, all right, talked about the props, talked about the GoPro, how I have it mounted. I run the CM1200 Lumenier camera. I really like the clearness of the video. Helps me see all the scraggle. I really like it. I use double-sided tape. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't bolt my cameras down anymore. As you can see here, I do use these side plates because it sandwiches the camera in place. And I typically don't run the camera this far forward either. So I use double-sided tape to secure it in place, and that usually is awesome because I never get screws. I never get the camera pointing down or up or whatever in the middle of a flight. It always stays put. Like I said, it is a little bit more far forward than I like. I typically run it back here further so that if I smack into something, it doesn't break the lens. But the reason I did that was because I changed configuration. I used to run UFL. Well, let's just talk about it now. Thanks, Prop. Appreciate that. So I do run the Evo, the TBS Evo, which I do like. I don't like it as well as the older TBS. Forgot the old TBS. Golly, drawing a blank. Doesn't matter. The Evo is pretty good though. I like the OSD. I like the connectivity to the Crossfire Nano. You get all the RISI values, the signal noise ratio, pretty much all the data you could ever want on your OSD. And even the OSD placement isn't terrible. It's down at the bottom of your screen, which kind of keeps the clutter out of the way. But again, like I said, I used to run UFL antennas. I was breaking them pretty frequently because I run them out of the back. So I stopped running those, went back to SMA to even see if I could get improved video. Like I was telling you guys, this is not the antenna I typically run. I usually run the Triumph, or I'll run the UFL, and it's usually right-hand circular polarized, not left-hand circular polarized. Again, the only reason I did this was because it's what I had in my box and I wanted to come out and fly. But because of the placement of my VTX and all this crammed in because of the SMA, typically I run my VTX back here and then have the antenna coming off the back direct. That allows me to put my camera further back and it protects it. But for this configuration, I had to push my camera. I'm just taking a risk. So far so good. I haven't smacked that camera lens yet. Doesn't mean I won't, but I think that pretty much covers it. Again, these sliders, can't say enough about these things. I like them way better than those foam ones. The foam ones just rip off. They're expensive. These things don't rip off. You have to peel them off even after you slam the crap out of your quad on the concrete a number of times. You have to peel them off, and they still give you decent enough dampening, so when you hit the ground or impact real hard, they don't just, you know, your quad just doesn't take a hit. They do look janky. I don't like the color. They could be black, they could be gray, they could be any other color but the color they are, but that's what they got. And they work great. I do fly a ghetto rig. I don't really care. It is on the heavier side, but again, like I said, I hate buying parts because it was just, I tried to get it so light that everything was exposed or wasn't protected, and my flying style is pretty aggressive, and because of that, I typically do damage a lot of hardware. I go through a lot of components. Well, not so much anymore, but I used to go through a lot of components because of my style of flying. But now I've tried to develop or adapt my quad to my style to make it a little more resilient. And this is what I've come up with. This is the conglomeration of things, all the things to get it to that level of durability that I need. So just a quick recap. If you're gonna go out and hit all the gaps, you gotta have your calming drink. Hydrate. You're gonna get sweaty and nervous. Take your X-Lite Pro or whatever controller you like. Take plenty of props. Always take extra motors and stuff. And then just make sure your quad's bulletproof. And then charge batteries and go throw down. That's it, y'all. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Lates.